President Trump is trapped in Iran. I'm Jim VandeHei, CEO, co-founder of Axios. President Trump, since his first days in office in the first term, operates with impulse, intuition, improvisation, and very rarely puts a lot of deep thought into how things will unfold over a long period of time. That works wonderfully for him when he's in situations where he can quickly pivot. Let me give you an example. On tariffs, the minute that there's backlash, he can reverse those tariffs. And if you look at topic by topic, that's how he usually governs. The difference with Iran, the difference with war, the minute that you move the machinery of war, the minute that you bomb another country, the minute that you decapitate the leader of another nation, unpredictability unfolds. Other interests rise. Israel wants to make sure that it has no threat in its backyard from Iran or its proxies that surround this country in the Middle East. That's different from the United States' interests. The Iranians have their own interests, right? If you had your regime get decapitated, this is the second time that the United States and Israel have hit you and hit you hard. You don't have to read The Art of War to realize that you have to inflict pain on your enemy so that they stop inflicting pain on you. So the president, who behind the scenes wants out, make no mistake about it, the president wants to end the war today and wants gas prices to go way down tomorrow, but he can't. He can't. Every time he asks his military advisors for ways to get out quick, they say, you really can't right now, Mr. President. There's no easy way until we can restore some kind of stability around oil prices and what's happening in the Middle East, until we know who we're even negotiating with in the Middle East. We don't even know how many of their leaders are dead. We don't know how many of the people we've negotiated secretly with in the past are alive. We don't know what the next regime is even going to look like. Is it better? Is it worse? If we wanted to negotiate some kind of deal around their use of uranium or our ability to secure their uranium, who do you go to? There's nobody to go to. So for the first time in President Trump's real presidential career, things are outside of his control. I can't think of another time in the last several years where the president has been in open disagreement with the people around him. They almost always walk in lockstep. And if there is any disagreement, they hide it or they deny it. They're not actually denying it. Like, it's very clear that the vice president of the United States is against this military operation, that he was before the operation and still has great reservations today. It's clear that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff had real reservations about what would happen after that initial attack. I think it's very clear that his head of intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, that she and her staff have been anti-war with Iran for a long time, that they have real misgivings. This really was a war of choice, and it was the president's choice alone. He, as commander-in-chief, obviously makes that decision, but this is one where he made a call when he was getting conflicting advice. And so he has a lot at stake. And the other dimension that's really interesting is he and Bibi, they have this mind meld. They have this relationship that kind of sits above the relationship that they each have with others. They're kind of locked in arms, and they have very different strategies. They have very different impulses. For Bibi, it's all about survival. He might go to jail if the war ends, right? Or Israel might be perpetually attacked like it has been in the past if the war ends. For President Trump, if the war ends, nothing's probably going to happen to him other than good things politically. And Iran, while it might be a threat in the backyard of Israel, not really a threat to our homeland. That's always been the chief critique, and I think the fairest critique of the war is that how could the Iranians really hit us when they don't have the missiles or the capabilities to do so? At some point, that relationship will fray. When things are outside of his control, he can get very agitated, which you've seen. You often see it late at night on True Social, where he sends out these all-cap texts or these all-cap posts where he's talking about the things that are irritating him. He's talking about military strategy. He's making threats. He's undoing old threats. And that's the improvisational part. That can work when you're not at war. But when you're at war, it can just further confuse things, further complicate things. And that's why this war is not likely to end anytime soon.